Maybe she is great.
She is not Miss Universe.
I'm Gabby. That's Jordan.
Red flag, red flag.
I'm sure, I know I'm the villain in that story.
Hello. We are back. And today we're excited because we have our first ever guest.
Brittany. What does she like to go by? Do we know?
It's just Britt. I've never called Britt Brittany in my life. Have you?
No.
No.
I say her full Instagram name though. Britt Lennartsson.
Is it Lennartsson or Lennartsson? We got questions.
We'll have to verify.
I think it's Lennartsson.
Well,
Is your guess Lennartsson? Are we putting bets?
yes.
Loser has to chug the rest of their wine when she sits down. She won't know what's going on. It'll be great. So yeah, so we have Britt. We have Britt coming on. She is one of our influencer friends.
Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit about influencer stuff, but really and mainly we're going to talk about the fact that she is married to one giant old Swede. We love Anton.
Big old bobcat.
Anton is as Swedish as it gets. Anton has to be what, like 6'6", 6'7"? Tall boy.
He's tall. Like
tall boy.
Could play NBA basketball,
but instead he played hockey. Wow,
we're just they got to be tall too.
Yeah, I get. Well, they're just big. They're big dudes.
Or is it the padding?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Regardless, we're just spitting facts about Anton, not our husband, but we'll just keep spitting facts about Anton. So we're gonna have Britt come in here and join us now, so you guys can learn more about her relationship, Britt herself, and their relationship with Anton. You also sent in questions to Jordan this week about like little relationship questiony kind of vibe. We picked the best ones that we think fit for Britt to answer, so you'll get those answered, and then we'll also have like a little fun little game at the end.
Yeah. And
we're in the middle. We'll break it up.
Get to know how you guys met.
Yep.
And how we met.
Yep. So stay tuned for all of that, and let's go get Britt. Okay.
Hello.
Britt.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcasting world. It's weird.
Yes.
It feels really awkward, doesn't it?
Yes. I can say I didn't realize how tall you were.
Oh yeah. 5'9". So
wow.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. How tall are you?
Like 5'8".
So
not
I'm
that much
never
taller.
the shortest of the group. This is fantastic.
we're all pretty tall.
Tall ladies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, so tell us, how do you pronounce your last name?
I pronounce it, of course, with an American accent. So I say Lennartsson, but obviously that's with a Southern twang. But when you ask my husband, he probably says it more like Lennartsson or something. That sounds like
so,
British.
But it is Lennartsson.
Yes, Lennartsson.
Bottoms up, baby.
Oh, did y'all guess on? Did y'all guess on how do you pronounce it?
Yeah.
How did you pronounce it?
Lennartsson.
Yeah. No.
It's Lennartsson.
Because we were saying
baby.
We did an intro before you got here.
Yeah.
And she said Britt. And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, is it Britt? Brittany? And she was like, well, I always say Britt. And I was like, I just say her full Instagram name. Like, Britt
You've been
Lennartsson.
saying it wrong.
People are kind of like, who is that?
It's okay. I think one time when Anton was playing, when he was playing hockey, on his leather bar on the back of his jersey, it had like an F in it. I'm not sure how anyone got an F in it. I don't know. So we say Lennartsson, but if you ask the Swedish people, that's not correct.
Wait, that's leather on the back of
No, letter.
Oh.
Sorry, Southern accent.
We got a lot of accents.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, sorry.
I get that with the last name though. Like mine's Mondahar, and like my mom says Mondajar. My dad says Mondahar, but if you like ask our Cuban family, it's Mondejar. So it's like
Exactly.
What do you?
Yes.
I say all three.
That.
But I go by Britt or Brittany. It doesn't matter. I feel like you have a lot of Brittany friends.
Like 4 Brits in my life, and they all go by Britt. So I could call you Brittany, but I like Britt better. Brittany feels too like not like you're my friend like that. Britt feels like best friend.
Brittany I feel like none of your social like has Brittany in it.
My Instagram's Britt, TikTok's Britt, email's Britt.
Yeah.
Short and sweet, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
I was the only Brittany growing up and like making just about.
Really?
Yeah. 1 in a million.
Wow.
I guess.
Well, start there since we already like are talking about Instagram handles.
Yeah.
Tell everybody your Instagram handles or anywhere you want them to follow you after the fact.
Britt Lennartsson or Britt_Lennartsson is my Instagram handle. You can follow me on there, and other stuff is kind of linked through there. I have a blog, Hello Sunshine blog, that I started right before I moved here. A little bit of everything, travel, food.
Ice cube falling over there.
So yes,
her blog is great. I love all of your bachelorette tips and stuff.
Bachelorette tips on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, St. Pete and Tampa have blown up. If you're looking, there's a lot to do here. So a lot more, I think, than previous years. But I had my bachelorette here before we moved. So yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
spicy. Love
So
that.
Britt, how'd you meet Jordan?
Instagram.
Yes. Yeah.
We were following each other, and then I helped Lex with her influencer night at her boutique, Lex and Co.
Yep.
And I asked you because you seem super cool and and genuine,
Jordan, cool.
and genuine. So because you know this, when you ask a lot of people to come to events, they kind of wonder what they're getting out of it. And so they're
Yeah.
like, well, what is
Yeah.
it for me? Am I going to get paid? And it's just kind of a hassle because Lex and Co is a small business. So you were like,
Yeah.
heck yes, I'm there. Just tell me when and where. So
Yeah.
that's how we
And I
met.
remember when we met there, you were like, I'm so glad like you came. Like I really respect like when people say they're gonna come and come.
Yes.
You had a rough night that night. You had a lot of girls that told you they were coming that
Yes.
did not come.
Yes.
I
See,
came.
I did not know.
I didn't see you though. I think
She came
was
early.
in and
I
out.
came early.
No. She came earlier because she had an event with Marry Me.
Yep, I
Tampa
had to
Bay.
work a wedding vendor deal.
So she said, can I come 30 minutes early? So she came.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why we miss each other.
Yep. So that's how we met.
Yes.
And we met Instagram too.
Instagram.
Date.
We did. We got coffee together with another friend at Pasomi, which
Yes.
I absolutely love.
Yes.
The Greek
Yes,
coffee vibes.
fave.
It's not pronounced Somi.
It's pronounced. I don't know how I say it either. I always say Pasomi, but I think it's
Okay.
different.
Clearly, Jordan and I cannot get on the same page on pronunciations. It's the New Yorker and the Coloradan in us.
I'm like, why is there a P there? Like, isn't it just Somi?
I think it's
I don't know.
Pasomi.
You might.
We need to
You might have to
figure
consult.
this out.
We'll message them on Instagram. Hey, tell us how to pronounce it. But yeah, we met there, and then I remember Amanda Sheridan telling me that she had met you and that I had to meet you and stuff like that.
Oh,
I think
she's
that's
so
why
sweet.
we reached out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Coffee date, coffee blind date, kind of. I'm all for that.
So everybody always wants to know how we all meet each other. It really is Instagram.
Yeah.
We just DM each other.
And it works out. So.
Most
And
of the
I
time.
feel like if I never met you that one night, I probably would have never met Gabby.
No, but
because
we
I
met so
wasn't-
differently.
I wasn't doing their events
Oh.
before I met Britt.
Oh, gotcha.
I love
Yeah,
to
I was
connect
gonna say.
people. I'm all about connections and friends and girls and.
So now we're gonna get into relationship stuff.
Okay, let's go.
So tell us how you and Anton met.
We met surprisingly old school fashion style in person.
Okay.
So he was in my hometown of Macon, Georgia, playing hockey for one of the lower league teams, and my cousin was the athletic trainer for the team. So I was already kind of hanging out with the team as single chick, and I made friends with some of the other girlfriends. And anyway, we met. I think I was in one of the apartments, and Anton, of course, when he came in, kind of thought that I was just like a puck bunny. I was not. I was not. Like if you ask me,
like
who I went to
looking around.
school with, I was not that type of girl. So we met that way. We went out as a group to eat, and then I added him on Facebook, and then he DM'd me on Facebook like a few days or a week later, just chit chatting.
Okay.
And then we went
Slid
out,
into the DMs. Okay,
yes.
Anton.
And then we went and ate, and I got to pick the place that we went and ate at, and it was called Twang.
Most cheating thing I've ever
And yeah, so it was a barbecue place, and so we get the exact same thing because he was trusting my judgment. So I got like a barbecue sandwich with probably like potato salad or coleslaw. Anyway, he starts eating his sandwich with a fork and knife. Yes.
Wait,
Europeans
what?
are very good manners. And I'm over there like with my barbecue sandwich, just eating it. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "This is how we eat." So we started seeing each other that way. And at first I was kind of reserved, of course, because I thought, oh, you're from Sweden. You're just here to have fun. You're going to go back to Sweden this summer. Forget all about me. But no, he pursued me. And then at the end of the season, he said, I want you to come to Sweden. Will you come? So yeah, he had already met my parents. My mom loved him. Yeah, he went on vacation with us. Like my mom.
Wait, how? Like, what is the timeline of this?
So we met in, I think it was November, and then so hockey's normally October to like April, May for the lower league.
Okay.
So his visa was good from like September to the end of May. So we met in November, started kind of talking. I was starting to go to the games, hang out after the
Okay.
games. He came over to my house on Super Bowl Sunday. We shot guns, shot clays. Met my mom. He's a dental hygienist. He had no tooth.
She was thrilled.
Yes. The one thing my mom always asks is like, make sure your person always has their teeth. So anyway, but he has
At least he had
And
them
she
all.
picked a hockey
Almost.
player.
yes. But he has such a great personality, which y'all have both met
Oh, yeah.
him.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
very charismatic and personable. So my parents fell in love with him. So at the end of the hockey season, we were going to the Panhandle of Florida, Panama City, and my mom's like, "Bring him with us before he leaves." So anyway, so then when I took him to the airport before he left for Sweden, he said, "Will you come to Sweden this summer?" So I went for like 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
And then after that trip, we were officially like, okay, we're going to give this a try, like be exclusive.
So he came back then for school after the
Hockey.
I think it depends on your needs. So I think definitely before marriage or even a commitment. I know marriage is not for everybody. It was really helpful for me and Anton as Christians, but also just as a couple to discuss kind of future plans and kind of talk about things maybe that we didn't have in mind. But I definitely think having your own therapist is usually the best because that's kind of your safe place. That's your place where you can go. You have your own person. And then for us in therapy, what we like, say I'm seeing you and Kyle was seeing someone else, like I then wouldn't become both of your therapists because I would already have like a bias to you since I have like your side of the story, and you want to feel
So if you're gonna
represented.
yeah.
So sometimes like for family, I've never done couple therapy, thank goodness. I don't want to. I've done family therapy where I was seeing the child and then the parent was seeing another therapist, and then we sat all together so that we could work as a team. But I'm all for therapy if you need someone to speak
So
to.
almost like you really don't want your couples therapist to also be your individual
No,
therapist.
because it just
It creates
gets,
bias.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Because we're humans. When you hear someone's story, chances are, then if the other person comes in, you're already gonna have kind of a, like I said, a bias, just an opinion of them.
I mean, that
So
goes
can
so
affect.
far beyond therapy because I feel like even as a friend, I'm so cautious as I've aged. I'm so cautious which friends I tell about my relationship problems or anything like that because you realize that like it taints your friend's vision of them. And when you fix it because it's your relationship and that's your job to fix, they haven't fixed it in their head. And it's like it brings a negative. And I'm guilty of, I have friends from my past that I'm not even friends with anymore because I just hated their boyfriends from the get-go. And it's because they had negative impressions, but now I look back on it and I'm like,
maybe
okay, like maybe they fixed it with, you know, that person and now I'm being the problem. But it's ended friendships, you know? So it's wild how much you kind of almost have to keep some of your personal relationships so personal.
Yeah. I feel like I don't talk about problems that like me and Matt have or like fights unless I'm really, really, really close with the person. And the person already knows Matt and like his whole personality and our whole relationship. Yeah. Or I have to like preface things. Like this happened 5 years ago. Like I hate doing that.
Yeah.
All right. So we have some questions that I was asked on Instagram
Oh.
about relationships.
Say what?
Okay. So the first one is, I've been in a relationship for almost 7 years and he has no plans on proposing or marriage. I really want to be married, but it seems like he never will. What do I do?
If your goal is to get married and the person you're with doesn't want to get married, then why are you together? I mean, have a conversation. I'm not saying end it right off the bat, of course, because obviously you care for this person, but you're on two kind of different paths. So how are you going to reach happiness together if you both have different visions of what the future looks like? So
Did you and Anton always want to be married?
For the most part, I think growing up in the South and in America, it's very common. It's just very
like that's what we do.
Yeah, and it's and I knew I was not someone who wanted to be, as the South says, like barefoot and pregnant and wedded. Like that was not my thing. Like I had my own goals for myself.
Okay.
I didn't have like a certain age I needed to be married by. I just wanted to be happy and happily married. But with Anton, I know for him in the Swedish culture, people don't get married as often anymore.
What's that about? Do you know the reasoning for that?
Not completely. Like, I would have to say, like, for example, even some of my in-laws or friends or family back in Sweden, they're, to me, in my mind, of course, they're married, but they're in committed long relationships with their significant others. So for Anton, he knew he wanted to get married, but he didn't understand maybe how that would incorporate with me, I guess, if that makes sense.
Like he wanted the partnership and the commitment, but he didn't know what that, like, he would have been open to what that looked like.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on his partner.
And obviously for us, it's a little bit different since we are from different countries, that, you know, for us to have a relationship together, kind of marriage would at some point need to happen. You know, it doesn't have to happen, but it makes our life a lot easier when we can be in the same country for extended period of time.
Yeah. You don't have a choice with that one.
Yeah. Do you think that if you didn't want to be married, he would have been like, okay, that's fine?
I'm not sure, actually. We never talked about that. So I know that Anton has, he wants kids and stuff like that. So I don't know if that would look any differently for him if we weren't married. I know for, like, his family, it doesn't. His siblings, one sibling is married with children, but the rest have children with their significant others, and they're not married, and they're doing great and fine as well. So I'm not really sure.
Do they have that law there where, like, if you're with someone for over 10
common
years,
law? Yeah. Common law? No, I don't think so. I know,
or even
America,
like domestic partnership.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I feel like, I don't know, and I've traveled a lot. I've noticed that everywhere but America doesn't put as much of an emphasis unless they're a super religious culture. And I find it very interesting because I think if you look at statistics, most of those countries actually have higher, like, success rates of staying with long-term partners. And I wonder if it's the unapplied pressure, or it's like you've chosen to be with each other every day, and it's almost more relaxing that you get to wake up and be like, well, we're not bound to each other. We're choosing to be here. And I wonder if that actually makes a difference.
Because there is a large divorce rate in America. Like, I don't want to say that. Yeah, but, like, there is.
It's 50% or something like that.
I think it's over that.
Like, it might be now.
Large.
I remember when I was a kid growing up, it was 50%, because it would be like one of those things where, like, even my high school boyfriend, he's like, it's either your parents or my parents. Like, who's getting the divorce? Because it was 50%. So I bet you it has gone up. I feel like we've definitely started to take marriage a little less seriously.
Yeah, I feel like it's our culture. Not our culture, our generation.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely an expectation. And you all know how weddings are now. They're...
Oh my god.
As someone that works in the wedding industry.
And someone who just had a wedding.
They're insane.
So I've actually found a little loophole, a little tip for brides, a sampler before we even do our bridal segment, is I found that I get cheaper rates out of people that are out of town because they want to come and visit the location that I might have picked. And I mean, half of them, the videographer and the photographer that I really love for, like, my potential future wedding, they both are like, you need to pay the flights, but they don't ask for you to pay accommodations. They make their own way on that. And they gave me a cheaper rate because I was giving them the opportunity to travel. So a little bit of a loophole. I mean, local, I feel like they hiccup because they're used to doing local. They've done the same venue over and over and over again. They want something different.
Well, I knew I wanted to book them. They were the first vendor I booked. Like, I hadn't even put the deposit down, or haven't even put the deposit down for the venue before, like, we booked them.
I will say, I think videography and photography, and this is probably you're coming from a panel of influencers right here. It's the most important part of your wedding, just because those are your memories you're documenting. Us personally, we're posting it on social. We're using those video clips all different types of ways. Like, I know a lot of videographers are now providing clips in that ratio for reels. Like, they're doing great with that kind of stuff. It goes all over your house as artwork. It goes in books. Like, they're just forever. Like, you need them. And there's something about video now that we've entered into that ability and era that, like, I want my vows recorded. I don't want to forget them. Like, there's just, like, beautiful things to that I think most people are picking their photographer and videographer first.
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel like, obviously as influencers, like, we're gonna be like, I want the video. I will pay you $10,000 for the video.
I had a girl.
Well, that's the thing. They know that they can charge that because people will pay it because it's like sentimental.
Yeah,
that's how.
There's no price tag for it.
But there are some people that are like, no, I don't want the video, and I'm like, you're gonna regret that.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised. I had a bride from Marry Me Tampa Bay, where I work, the other day, ask to hire an influencer to come to her wedding to take behind the scenes reel footage so that she could use it later on for her own footage. So, like, she had a videographer, and, like, we kept asking, we're like, oh no, you just want a videographer? She's like, no, I want to hire an influencer, to attend my wedding as a guest, to get behind the scenes, meant for Instagram. Like, that was what she wanted, and she was willing to pay.
I kind of like that.
It's kind of different. That could be a whole profession right there. Just attending weddings.
If you'd like to hire me.
Yes.
Hire us.
I'm for hire.
Yes.
Do Jordan and I, as a group, will commentate it too.
Yes,
but
we'll be comedians.
But no, it's like she had her end up being like part of like, not, she wasn't a bridesmaid or anything, but she was there with the bridesmaids while they were getting ready. She was like at the whole wedding. She was at the reception. Like, she did all of the things, and she did all of the behind the scenes footage. And so this girl had something immediately to post, because obviously you have to wait that 6 to 8 weeks. She did a really good job of just like being ready to pump stuff. I almost said shit, but I can say shit. Britt doesn't cuss, and Jordan and I clearly have potty mouths. So I was like being really clean today, and then I backtracked. Anyway,
so we have been thoroughly sidetracked. We're going back to the second question. So, me and my boyfriend have recently been talking about marriage. We are extremely close with my family, but his family seems to hate me, and we have never gotten along. Family is a huge part of my life, and I want to be close with his family too. Is there a way to change this dynamic, or what should I do?
Again, communication. I would talk to boyfriend, right? Not,
yeah.
They're not engaged yet.
Yes.
And just kind of see what that might look like, because it's normal. I mean, I think we all have seen the TikToks where people have struggles with their in-laws. I know even for us, location-wise, we're closer to my family compared to Anton's, of course, but we're still just as emotionally close with both sides of our family, and I get that it's really important, and it makes your wedding go easier, it seems like, but it's manageable to have a very happy married life if you don't get along with your in-laws. So I would talk with your boyfriend about it, see what the game plan is, and just see if you guys want to talk to his family and see if it goes anywhere. If not, their choice.
Is there a point that you hit where it's like it's okay to just not be as close? Like, what's the boundary of like when you're allowed to cut off certain family because they're just not participating in your relationship or your life in a good or healthy way?
Thankfully, I don't think I've ever been to well, actually, I take that back. I have cut off family before. That's what I was saying. If I cut off, if someone's being toxic, I know that we throw that word around. If someone is jeopardizing your peace and your happiness, for sure, set those boundaries. Whether it's deleting off Instagram or social media, or not inviting them to your wedding or to your birthday or whatever it might be. But I mean, if someone's causing issues for you in your relationship, then it's like, okay,
so if it's
we
like
gotta
reevaluate
reevaluate
how you guys act with each other.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, one last question. How do you balance your relationship with social media and influencing? Which I feel like is a good question for you, because I feel like Anton's pretty active on his social media.
I feel like you both are always on Instagram.
Yeah, he thankfully doesn't mind. I know some girls or some influencers, they say that their significant other doesn't want to be seen. Anton doesn't mind it, and he doesn't mind the other, like, if he's not in posts as well. Like, he likes the fact that we can get something out of our influencing, if that's what you want to call it. You know, if we go somewhere for dinner and we're getting a complimentary meal, he's all for taking pictures. We've gotten down to like a science too, where it doesn't take us long for me to get content. It's like bam, bam, done. He does my like I'll do like a test photo with him with the lighting and everything. I show him exactly how I want the photo, so he doesn't mind that
direction.
Yes,
I love that.
It's key.
He's actually he's my favorite person to take my content. I don't know if y'all feel that way with your guys.
Kyle's great.
Yeah, like I would rather have Anton than someone else.
Sometimes so he's still in that phase where. And I'm sure we've all been there where he's like, almost like everyone's looking at me. Can we hurry up?
I'm still in that phase, and it's my job.
Sometimes
so,
I'm like that. But then I'm like, turn the camera around, and he's like, they're all looking. And I'm like, who cares?
Anton, again, like if I do like even if he just walks by, like if he feels embarrassed, I'll do like a practice shot and be like, okay, I want this. And he knows too to take pictures fast. Like it's not like a click. It's like click. So then I can go through and be like, okay, I like these, adjust this. I guess Anton's just gotten used to it. There are some times where, especially when we're on vacation, when we were just on our European vacation, he jokes and is like, do we have to take a picture everywhere? And I'm like, you never know who might see this and be like, I want this lady to come to my hotel and get a free stay. Because we've been offered stuff like that. And sadly, sometimes we don't get a chance because we both have our full-time jobs. But for me, social media is creative outlet. It's not like a job for me. It's just kind of a side hustle, if you want to call it that. So I guess for me, I work during the day, and then evenings or weekends, I kind of balance in social media. So it doesn't really, I mean, we've had arguments about it, of course. Like, who hasn't? Like, hey, can we not do events? There's months where Anton's like, can we not have our whole weekends scheduled out for the month? And I do my best to like slow my roll on accepting invitations to things, but we do a good job of we're both very active too. Like Anton, like we like to sleep. Like, we want to be in bed by 9 o'clock. But during the day, like, he doesn't mind going to eat or activity or anything like that. So
which is good.
So we make it work. So obviously, when I started, I feel like Instagram, when we first met, Instagram was still very casual, informal, maybe. Okay. Like, it was just, you would use the filters on the Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
The nightmare.
The Valencia.
Yes, that was like everyone's fave.
What's the one that's like really washed out and yellowish?
That might have been the Valencia.
I think that's the Valencia one.
Yeah. So I think
I'll have to go back in there and check.
After we started kind of seeing each other, it was kind of more of editing apps and kind of strategically posting. And Anton's never, I mean, I know that I post a lot about my life, but I keep a lot of it private too, so that people aren't always judging or commenting. So far, I've done pretty good. I always say I would never want to be someone with like 1 million followers. I don't think I would be down for that. I'm good with being a micro influencer. So just give me free food and travel.
Give me 10 million followers. I will show you
Jordan
everything.
Jordan has a level of she just doesn't care what anybody thinks.
There are
no
boundaries.
And you know what? That flies nowadays. As long as you don't care about people commenting. I mean,
Danny Austin, that girl shares her whole life, like down to like her in the hospital giving birth.
Yes,
like she showed.
Yes.
Not. Yeah, obviously.
I think Instagram would flag that.
Yeah, no, not that. But, like, everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild.
Yeah.
But I feel like I go to your Instagram mainly to, like, find, like, a cool coffee spot.
Yours is well curated. It's very clean. And I love that about it. And even every story you post even is aesthetic. Whereas, like, mine, I'm, like, so sloppy bun. And I'm, like, I'm hungover.
Like, I look like
I can't find my wallet.
I can't find my... Yes, that. But
I remember that.
Brunch, food, coffee, fashion.
Yes.
I just try to mix it all in.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one more thing we want to do with you before we let you go. We need to know, who is your childhood celebrity crush?
Oh, this is going to make me sound so Southern. Oh my god.
I love it. Give it to us.
Travis Pastrana.
Who is that?
Ah! I know y'all know who that is.
Who is that? Give us more details.
Travis Pastrana. Supercross, motocross.
Wait a second.
Yeah, like my family, we grew up dirt biking and supercross, motocross.
This is him, right?
Hell yeah, it was. I was all about him.
Let me see.
We would like to compare him to Anton.
Yes, so above your head, we're going to have a picture of Anton and a picture of this guy, but for now we're going to... Wait, how tall was he?
He's tall.
So
and they're both
tall guys. Well,
and
tall.
They're both wild childs too. Like, he is known for Nitro Circus. That was on MTV.
Yes,
that was him. Okay. That was him and his crew.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Wait. The flow. They both got the hair flow going.
I will say this though. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and the Weasley twins were always my favorite.
Wait, so do you have a thing for like redheads?
He was my first redhead I ever dated.
But you had a thing for the Weasley.
I did. So Travis Pastrana was like mine, like forever. Like, that's like a known
he
joke.
is not a redhead. Just
he's not.
But the Weasley twins, George and Fred, were always my favorite characters in the book and in the movies. So
odd one.
So I did marry a tall redhead, and he's a jokester. He's all about pranks, and he thinks he's the funniest person on the planet. He is sometimes.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Can't wait to see our little tiny pink couch.
Follow.
Yes, I will put Britt's all of her information
Yes.
in the handle, so you guys, or the handle, the bio, whatever that thing is called down on whatever app you're watching this on. I'll put it on there, and you can give her a follow, and you can check out Anton as well. I'll put his realtor page in there too. If you're in Tampa area and you're looking for a house, Anton is your man.
If you're looking for a feisty redheaded realtor,
Golf, beers.
That kind of is like the Weasley twins.
Yep.
You're set.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys, and we will be back next week.
yes, bye.
Bye.